My name is Karen Latham. I have 6 children, ages 5 to 21. My oldest is currently serving a mission in Texas for a church, so that's exciting. And my youngest is a chatterbox, and I've got everything in between. I like to dance with my kids in the kitchen. I like to ride bikes. I like to read. Mostly I just like to learn and know things, whether that means reading or learning some other way. I love absorbing the world around me. It's been a really fun journey to do that with children who see every day as something new to explore. Yeah. What is one thing that people don't know about you that you'd like to share? Something like that. Right. And I called him and I said, there's nothing, I have nothing. Right, there I go again. There's nothing interesting about me. What would you say? And he said, to tell you that I know all the words to every song in the 80s and every 80s cult classic movie. And that's why I can't memorize things today, because my brain is full. Yeah, I have some of my kids still convinced that I know every song on the radio, because they'll just turn the station and say, sing this song, and I'll start singing it, turn the station, sing this song. I know them all. I started off as a podcast stalker. I was just soaking up in every podcast that came out. I loved this concept of natural law and first principles, and I listened to those podcasts, the first 4, over and over again, trying to just understand. I have a very visual way of processing things, so I drew pictures of it and just trying to understand it more fully and discuss it with the people around me. It took me a long time to really feel like I have a grasp of that. And so that's really where it started. It took me, I don't know, a year, 18 months or something to finally join the Academy. I'd just been hearing about it and thinking, I don't need that. I get everything I need with these podcasts. I don't need to join the Academy. I love myself. I love God. We're good, right? I don't need that. And so it took me a long time to really come around and say, yeah, maybe there's something there for me. Probably the most transformational thing for me was learning about, I think it was the temperaments. I forget what they were called. There were so many tests that we took. They talk about the different ways of being smart, like what are your natural things that you're born with? My top 2 were linguistics and musical. And that surprised me because I knew linguistics. I love to read, I love to write, I love language, grammar. I read grammar books for fun. I know that's weird, but I've always loved language. And so that didn't surprise me, but to be tied for first with musical, that surprised me. I don't play an instrument. I don't read music. I've never had any kind of musical training, but I know that I love music and that I can turn anything into a song. That's how we memorize things in my house. We turn things into a rap or into a song, and it's easy. And I was so surprised to have such high numbers in that. And then learning that and listening to the Confidence podcast, I realized that my biggest problem, I think, in life in general, which I actually narrowed down, was a lack of confidence. I didn't believe in myself, and I didn't have any confidence in me and my abilities. And while I love music, I'd never expressed that in any way or given it a chance. And so over the summer, my son, I have a 17-year-old son, and so he'll be, all grown up next year. And he and I are really close. And he was trying out for community theater to try out for a play over the summer. And so with about 30 minutes notice, I decided to go and audition with him and just do it. And it's a good thing I only had 30 minutes notice, because I would have talked myself out of it. And so I just said, you know what, I'm doing this. And I had no preparation. I just went in there and I auditioned, and it was probably the scariest thing I've ever done. And I had my 7-year-old daughter with me. She also auditioned because they needed children in the play. And she was in the room with me. And when we walked out, I said to her, I said, well, what did you think? How did Mom do? And she said, I thought you were brave. And I said, Oh, that's exactly what I needed to hear right in that moment, because I just was trying to overcome a fear in that moment. And for her to recognize that and just, I think, take some courage herself after watching mom do something that she knew was really hard for me, I think that was transformative. That was awesome. As a matter of fact, we were so excited. I was so excited that I lived through the audition that I forgot to check the callback list, and we totally missed the callback. We still got in the play, but we missed the callback because we were just so excited. We were like, okay, done with that one, moving on. That process for me was so big, and it was just awesome. And then so the reward for that is I got to spend the summer doing the polka on stage with my 17-year-old son, which we'll never forget. That we'll always have that before he leaves. So good reward, really cool. Good experience. And that's really coming from the Academy. I don't think I would have done that if I hadn't had that confidence podcast and everything that Audrey talks about believing in yourself and how women don't believe in themselves. And, you know, I had to make that list of 100 things that I do well, and I could get to like number 25. And so I was like lacking in confidence. I had to ask everybody, what do I do well? Right. But to come up with anything substantive was very difficult. I always go immediately to the joke, like what's funny. And it was getting myself to sit down and really think about what am I actually really like do well? What do I do well that's not just funny?